Hello, Gun Nation. How's everyone doing this evening? Hope y'all are doing wonderful. Check out this new shirt, Texas Gun Experience. It's got orange and green and black Texases. I actually told them they ought to do this on a shirt from one of my other shirts, and they did it. So, and it says it Texas Gun Experience on the arm. I don't know if y'all can order these online. You might check, but these things are freaking badass. So, anyway, I definitely wanted to rock it because I was like, y'all ought to do it, y'all ought to do it. They finally did it. And so I got one of the shirts. But I hope everyone is doing well this evening. All right. We've got, and might as well kick this off, got a little bit of tin cup this evening. Hope everyone's doing well. Cheers. Have a little drink. And I know this doesn't have anything to do with guns. I just wanted to show it. And then we'll get on to gun stuff. But I did get my, I got into archery and got me a bow and stuff. And I did get my little arrow holder. God dang, I just went blank. What the hell is this? Quiver. Got my damn quiver in. So there's the belt. Got me a little orange and black with some carbon fiber on it. And it does have the arrows that point to the back, which I actually prefer. And then it's got like a little pad here and a little pad up here. So it rides on your leg. But it's got a little pouch here. But anyway, I got my representing my orange and black. So that's pretty cool. Just got that in today. Just wanted to show that. Quiver, I know. It's like my brain just blew up for a second. But and I don't know if y'all saw that. I did post it today. Texas Gun Experience set up a deal, which is actually pretty cool. You can go in and rent the John Wick, like I guess it's all the guns from John Wick, and they have them in a package. It's the John Wick package, and shoot all the guns from the John Wick. Because I don't know if y'all saw, but I guess John Wick 4 is coming out probably a little from now. But they put out the teaser, and I was like, oh, that's pretty damn cool. This is supposed to be the best one, so who knows? Let's see here. Hello, let's do a quick roll call. I always like to say hi to the loyalist out there. We got Ranger 10, Dennis Buckner, Scott 79, Pistol Pete, James Johnson, Mike High, Chris from the 740, and he'll be having his chat after mine, so y'all tune in. Reloading from the Hot Pot, he will be on there also. Let's see here. James Johnson, I don't know if I said that. Dirt Track 410. A-Dubs, Two Gun Kitty, how are you? Richard Jenkins, and Mike High. Yeah, the carbon fiber actually does serve a purpose. When you put your arrows in your quiver, how people drag it down there, that little carbon fiber thing keeps it from tearing and separating. So we'll see. Like I said, I don't, I'm new to this, but I wanted some pretty decent equipment. So that way it's buy once, cry once. And then we'll be done with that. Anyone know if the NRG Center in Houston is a gun-free zone? NRG. I'm trying to think of what the hell NRG stands for. I don't know what the NRG is. I probably do if you tell me. I don't know. Pistol Pete hasn't seen any of the John Wick films. That's cool. I mean, I kind of like them. Hello, Tactical Fud. How are you? Yeah, carbon fiber makes it tactical. But I had something pretty funny. So I know some people like to hear funny stories. I went to Whataburger today in Dallas. I was starving, so I was like, oh, there's a Whataburger, and I love Whataburger. So I went into Whataburger, ordered my meal, and the lady who was taking my order just kept kind of looking at me and everything. This was her exact words. You're a big old white fella. When she said that, I actually started laughing because she was shorter, and she looked up at me and she goes, or no, she said, you sure are a big old white fella. And I was like, I kind of giggled, and I was like, well, yes, I am. And then she gave me my cup, and I went over and got my drink, and then I was just sitting there going, Okay, that's the first time I've ever heard that in my entire life. But I even told my wife about it. I just thought that was funny as shit. Uh, uh, oh, the convention center in Houston. I think they have different parts of that. I have been to uh, one of the wings of the convention center, but it was for a different thing. I don't know what he's going for. And I maybe didn't read correctly, but I didn't walk through anything. So I don't know if that's if they have them maybe in different areas. You could probably pull it up and they have pictures of it, and you could probably look at some of the entrances just to see. Or you could just call. Yeah, and this is where he's saying racist, but this is where I don't give two shits what people think. I don't give, and she wasn't being mean. She was actually very nice. She was smiling and all that other stuff. I mean, it's kind of like some of our grandparents. They just say stuff they shouldn't say now, but that's just what they said back then. So I don't know what she's hearing in her household or whatever. But like I said, I just don't let shit like that bother me. That's why I laughed. I just thought it's kind of funny because it's like, whoa, shit, you don't hear stuff like that anymore. So it just kind of caught me off guard, so to say. Hello, CZ Shadow 2. How are you? Had some bad service at the one in Round Rock. I've been to that one. That place is a shithole. Yeah, it's the one over in that shopping center right off of the highway. I've been to that exact one in Round Rock before. It's hell. If I remember right, it's almost ready to tear down. It wouldn't surprise me. I mean, I travel a lot, stay in hotels and stuff, restaurants, all that. I mean, service has gone to shit. I guess they're not paying enough, or it's hard to find good help. Everything's suffering with a lot of people right now. Oh, the car auction. Yeah. Yeah, I've been to a bunch of car auctions. I've been to Meekums in Dallas at the convention center here. Um, I went to, and of course, I've been to it in Vegas. I've been to Barrett Jackson in Vegas, mm, and I didn't have any issues. So I'll just say that. But I don't know about that particular place. With cowboy boots and a hat on, you're probably 10 feet tall. Well, I was definitely way taller than her. I mean, I think she was like, yeah, I was definitely way taller than her. But I just thought it was funny that she said what she said. Let's see here. Golly Roberts. Hey, Big J, have you tried the Armanov 1911 grips? No, I haven't. I'm a big lock grips guy, so I have not tried those. I haven't found any reason to leave lock, so they make good stuff. Not saying those grips are bad. I just haven't tried them. And if I haven't tried stuff, I'll be straight up front with you and tell you. Duh, duh, duh. Ranger 10 says, got some new stuff or new toys coming for my new Scorpion 3, ready to put it through the gauntlet. That's awesome, man. What did you get? Did you get some like a new trigger and safety and some stuff like that? Let's see. Finally, technical difficulties. Hi, Big J. Evening all. Hello, how are you doing, Len Holt? Yes, they should. There's a small gun shop behind it where Schwaderberger is off 12 Irving Boulevard exit. I don't think I've been to that one. Maybe I have. Hell, I don't know. But yeah, I've been to that little gun shop. If I remember, I think behind it, it's a gun shop and fishing shop, isn't it? Don't they sell guns and fishing equipment? I think if that's the gun store that's right behind that Waterburger, I think they sell fishing equipment also. That would probably be my guess also. You're bringing in a lot of metal cars, and and a lot of those car shows, even if it's a car auction, a lot of people bring in metal parts like mirrors and trim. They'll bring in boxes of shit and try to walk around and trade with people, kind of use it as a swap meet. I've seen that happen before too, even though it's not a real swap meet, but I've seen people do that shit before. Let's see here. Yep, new safety. I agree with that. New safety on a CZ Scorpion. The other ones suck. They dig right into your hands, especially if you have big fingers. They do. Yeah, that's that place. Yep, I've been there before. I didn't even know if they were still open or not. Also, I do want to let y'all know I do have something on the way that I'm pretty excited about. It's something y'all will be excited about too. It's pretty dang cool. So when we get it, we'll get it set up. I'll probably do a video of it, as it is, and then of course I'll do some stuff to it. But it should be hopefully arriving Friday, if not probably Monday. But it's pretty cool. It's been a long time in the coming, so to say. So I think it's pretty cool. I'll just say it has. Well, I don't want to say that, but yeah, it's y'all have seen something similar on my channel, but not this exact thing. James Johnson says, jumped ship on the CZ bandwagon, bought a SIG 226, single action only Legion. Looking forward to slinging some lead. Yeah, I mean, I still love CZs. Don't get me wrong. I love my Shadow 2s. I love the P10s, P10Fs, all of that. The 226 SAO is nice. I think you'll really like it. I haven't owned one, but I've shot one, and they're very nice pistols. What's up, Channel Cat? How are you, man? Yeah, it's got a nice trigger. And then, like, I mean, I think it has a really nice trigger. It's still not a straight back pull trigger. It's a hinge trigger, but it's a very, very nice trigger. Hello, Armsman. How are you doing? Good evening, sir. Ever get the opportunity to do some testing on the Primary Arms RS10 Optic? Was on sale last weekend for $139. Great deal. RS10. What is it? Oh, I'm sorry. Are you talking about this one? The RS10? Yeah, I've got it. Matter of fact, I will be putting it. Took it out, played with it. It looks pretty nice. Couple of things. I don't want to get into it yet. I want to save it for the review because this is only a first hand thing. But I've got to get it. Actually, what I want to do with it is I want to put it on my shotgun and run it to see if it's going to handle the recoil. It comes with a pick rail, so I want to actually put it on the 12 gauge 590A1, run it with some slugs, run it with some buckshot, and see how it does. And then I might even put it on a 22. I've also got some 45-degree offsets. I might throw it on one of my 308s and see how it does. I just want to see if it can handle the recoil. I mean, it has a lifetime warranty. I don't think it's going to blow up, but we don't know till we try. Hello, Floridian. How are you? I was dry firing a TS2 trigger that had to be under 2 pounds, crazy light. Yeah, my TSO is 1 pound, 9 ounces. Now it's got a lot of rounds through it. I don't know if it was that light when I first got it, but I haven't done any work to it. I haven't done any spring enhancements, anything like that. It's all stock, but it's a very light trigger. Matter of fact, before KS bought his, I let him shoot mine, and he double tapped that thing and didn't mean to. He was like, holy crap. And I was like, yeah, it's a very light trigger. What's up, Abigail? Hello, Bald and Curious. Hopefully Bald and Curious will have something new soon. I think I got him on the hookup. But what do y'all think about this shirt? Is it cool? See all my Texas? Green, orange, and black? I think it's badass. Yeah, I mean, I think mine was probably like 2 pounds, 4 ounces, 2 pounds, 5 ounces, something like that, but it'll definitely lighten up. And mine's got thousands of rounds through it, so you should definitely get it. It should definitely lighten up. The only thing you'll want to do on your TSO or your TS2 is on the trigger itself. It's got a little adjustment screw, and I haven't adjusted mine, but there's a little small adjustment screw in there. You'll want to make sure that thing is tight. As you shoot it, just make sure it doesn't walk out. Those have been known to walk out. So if you can see a little bit of the threads or something, probably wouldn't be a bad idea to take a toothpick, get you some blue Loctite, and just kind of smear it on some of the threads or up inside there, just to make sure it doesn't walk out. I've never had mine walk out, but I did that first. But I have heard of some people's walking out, even brand new from the factory. So keep that in mind on the trigger, that little bitty trigger screw, because once it falls out, you're not ever going to find it. Oh, let's see what we got here. Bull Armory MS2 Optic is pissing me off. Dot is really dim, washes out against white. Shot a steel challenge and couldn't see the dot at all. Oh shit, that's not good. Is it flickering, or is it like it's just dim? I mean, I'm not, this is maybe the obvious, but have you checked the battery? I'm just wondering if maybe it just has some jicky ass, cheap ass battery in it. I mean, I'm sure you could probably put another battery in it and see if it brightens up, but if it doesn't, I would definitely get with them about replacing that. And I mean, there's some dots that are super, super bright, and there's some that are okay, even in, like really bright daylight. I will say this, that Aimpoint Acro 2, that son of a bitch is bright. I mean, you can hold it straight up to the sun. It's the brightest, and most aim points are super bright. But that Acro P2 is probably the brightest pistol dot I've ever shot. That thing is I mean, you can crank it up so bright. It looks like it blinds you. My TSO out of the box was 1.5 pounds. Did a video on it. Yeah, I mean, you can get them super light. I haven't seen one that's 1.5. I mean, personally, but like I said, not a bunch of difference between 1.5 and 1.9. However, that's still good. Or hell, I guess 1.9 would be basically 1.5. Also, I guess if you think about it in ounces, pretty damn close to 1.5. I was using a digital gauge. I think you have that other kind of gauge, the mechanical type gauge. But on the digital, it said 1.9 ounces. So, whatever. Probably close to the same. But yeah, they're pretty damn light. Swapped 3 batteries. Didn't see any flickering. It's supposed to be 5 MOA, but it's half the size and brightness compared to 2 MOA Hollow Sun. It wasn't like that. Shot a match with it before. Oh boy. Maybe it's already taken a shit. Hello, Russ. How are you, sir? Hope you were doing well. But yeah, I'm pretty excited about getting that thing. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and excited to try it and see how it does compared to other items. I just don't want to give too much away. Also, I did that sling pack, and that video's bombed. It's only got like 130 views, but I guess a lot of people aren't interested in bags, which, I mean, they're not a bag is a bag, but I kind of thought that bag was pretty cool. It's just amazing how much shit you can get in it without it being heavy. Hello, MZ. How are you? Milkman. I don't know if I said hello, Milkman. Let's see here. Also, I bought these. A lot of people, I did the custom ear plugs, which I really like. They're great. But a bunch of people were asking me if I had ever tried the axles, these little axles, and I hadn't. So I bought a pair. They didn't send them to me. I bought them. But, I figured, well, what the hell? We'll try these. And these are their 2.0s. I tried their 1.0s and they sucked way back when. Matter of fact, I did not do a video on them. They didn't send them to me. I bought them and I sent them back and they gave me a full refund. But all the problems I had with the first ones, they're supposed to have fixed them in these. So we'll see. But so I got it all charged up and everything, and I'm probably going to try it just to see if I like them. They got Bluetooth and all that other stuff, so you can listen to the radio with them. So if I don't use them at the range, I can use them at the gym or out in the backyard or whatever. Also, I didn't post it, but I can if y'all want to see it. But I bought 2 of the big targets, archery targets for the backyard. I'm going to have one in the far back corner and one over in this corner. So I can shoot straight on here, or I can transition over to the left. So it'll give me pretty good distance at an angle, and then straight, I don't know, maybe 20 yards or something like that, but I can shoot farther to the left. So I bought two of those really huge outdoor targets. They're pretty damn heavy. It's the biggest ones I could get. I think they're like a 24 by 24 by 16 inches deep. They're supposed to stop all field, not broadheads, but they're supposed to stop uh, field arrows. So we'll see. But I'm gonna start doing some archery in the backyard, and maybe I got a bag so I could throw it in there. But playing around with that thing, because I look at it this way, if you can have guns, I mean, of course I have plenty of those, but I was like, if I can get into archery and become pretty accurate with it, definitely would like to do some hunting with bows. I did it like 20 years ago or something with my compound, but I just didn't really get into a compound that much. I mean, it was fun. I never hunted with it, um, but that was the plan. But I did a lot of shooting with it, and I got pretty damn good with it. But this one is a recurve. It's more like an Olympian type, but without the big stabilizer that sticks out of the front. It just has weights on it. So this one, there's no sights on it, so it's all instinctive. Or you can point your arrow at your target and then learn that way. So I just want to dabble in it, see what I think about it, and have some fun with it. If y'all are big archery people, let me know. Pistol Pete, thanks, brother. Thumb up that video. Okay, I love my Axel Ear Pro, and so does my wife. Cool. And y'all, I'm assuming y'all have the new ones, right? Um, I appreciate the heads up. Reeling for the Hot Pot loves his too. That's good. Um, and I wanted to get y'all's opinion. I'm kind of between the medium and the small. I guess I have a small ear canal. I'm kind of between those two. Would you run the bigger ones since y'all have these, Russ and Hot Pot? Would y'all run the mediums and the long ones? I want to run the long ones because I can get them deeper in there. But do y'all run the small ones or the medium ones or maybe the large ones or whatever? Uh, I just don't want them too tight, but then I don't want them to, the smalls actually feel good in there. I just don't know if they're going to block as much out. So if y'all can give me some input on, what choices, and I know everybody's ear is different. I'm not saying I'm going to wear what you're going to wear, but have y'all been between the two, or is it better to have it tighter in the ear, much tighter, or, where it fits the ear better? I'm just curious. Marshall, the RS10 has that freaking, what do they call it? It's basically the Venom Vortex footprint, which sucks because I don't own anything Venom Vortex. But it does have that pick rail, so that's where I can put it on things and stuff like that. So I'm not really going to put it on a pistol because I can put it on my 22 45 because I've got the pick rail on the top, but I don't have any footprints that this thing fits. Now it does come with a plate, and I think the plate might be for the Glock MOS to convert it over, like you screw it into your MOS and then this thing fits on it, because it comes with another plate also. But I don't even have a Glock MOS. All of mine have been milled, so I'm not sure. Let's see. I run the medium. The small tends to fall out. Okay, good to know. And that's kind of what I was thinking too. I run the medium black rubber ones. I tried all of them to figure it out for me. Yeah, and I tried the smalls, the mediums, and of course I'm thinking I'm going to need the longer rubber ones because they have the shorter rubber ones and the longer rubber ones. And then those clear ones I know are just if you're going to use it as a Bluetooth, which I'm not going to do. So tight without pain will be better for noise reduction. Okay. And I think that's going to be the mediums for me. So, but yeah, I appreciate that. I appreciate that feedback because I was wanting to ask, but I don't want to do a video and have everybody comment. I figured I could just ask on a chat. So, and I got these. They have it was called Christmas in July. I don't know if it's still going on, but they had these for like half off. I got them for $99 with free shipping. So I thought, shit, why not try them? It's $100, If they suck, I'll say they suck. If I like them, I'll say I like them, What model of those? This is the 2.0. This is the newer ones. Axles. Y'all have probably seen them on videos, but it's got this little, it's got all that stuff. But I think it's called the 2.0. Yeah, these are the 2.0. There's the directions in there. I have the paperwork somewhere. I don't know what the hell I did with it. Man, if y'all saw this, I've got holster. I've got all kinds of shit laying out here that I haven't opened yet. I mean, I'd opened those and charged them and played with them. Yeah, mine came with a little charger thing. It came with one of these little deals. So I plugged it in and it worked. So I guess it was red because it was low, and then when it's fully charged, it lights up blue. So I waited till it turned blue and then paired them with my phone. They seemed to, work okay. I listened to some music on it just to check them. Something else I was going to show y'all. What to do with it? Oh, if anybody wants this, um, if you want to order any, because I wanted to show y'all this in case somebody wants it, you can get 15% off of a 3vgear.com. So if you order any of those bags, that one like I did, there's a code right there. It looks like, I don't know how well it's going to show up, but it looks like 3V15AUG. If y'all can see that. If anybody wants to use this code, they're more than welcome to get 15% off because I'm not going to use this code. Figured I'd share it with y'all if y'all want it. Hello, Clyde. How are you? Mine has lasted 2 events on one charge. That's good to know. Yeah, and I've got, in my truck, I've got a 110 plug, built in. So I figured, I could just charge them also, even in the truck on the way there if they ever get low or whatever. So I can flip it open and put the 110 in there. Let's see here. Also, Rabbi Jesus told me to try these, so I ordered them. They're 3-inch targets. They're stickers. There's 250 of these things. They're in a roll. You can throw them in your range bag. But I decided to get the green ones. And then also I got a package of these too. These are the Shoot and Seas. Y'all have probably seen those, but there's only 200 of these in there, but they peel off and stick. And these are the splatter targets. So, aim small, shoot small. But I figured I could, after I destroy those head boxes, then I can just stick a sticker on there and don't have to go through those targets. I don't pay for the targets. They're actually included in the VIP deal, but I just get tired of wasting all those targets. And they'll go good on a paper plate too, because I carry paper plates with me too. So if I ever want to shoot paper plates again, I can jam one of those on there. Yep, James Johnson, aim small, miss small. Follow up. People have been asking, and I wanted to let y'all know about it. These are from Amazon. They're $13. This one was $13.99. You get 200, and these come in different colors. They come in orange, red, and green, I believe, or yellow and green and black or something, or red. These were $13.99 also, but you get 250 of these green ones. I just got them on Amazon. But I have flat ones. I have one similar to these, but they're on the flat paper, but it's kind of like a big piece of notebook paper, and you got to put them all in there. And then when they bend, they get all jacked up. So these are already on a roll. So I figured I could just chunk a roll in there, or I can just tear, some of them off and throw them in there if I ever want to and roll them up even smaller. Thanks, Two Gun Kitty. I appreciate you. No, that's what I thought. Hell, $13. It's not bad at all. I paid a lot more for those little sticker ones on those flat sheets. So I thought, well, shit, I'll try them. And he said, Rabbi Jesus said they were really sticky because I asked him. I had bought some of these similar to these a long, long time ago, and I would stick them on, and they just had shitty, sticky stuff. But he said these are really sticky, so we'll try them and see. I figured, for what, $26 for both of them, it wasn't, or 28 or whatever with tax, it wasn't all that bad. So I just grabbed them. Oh, So people have been asking for follow-ups on some things. My POF 300 blackout still working perfectly. I just shot it 2 weeks ago, or a week ago, or week and a half ago, or whatever. I loaded up a bunch of mags with 300 blackout, and I shot that just to make sure it's good to go. Works great. Shot my other 300 blackout, that custom build one from Fire for Effect. It shot great. Shot my 308, 12 and a half 308. It shot great. After I got back, I didn't even clean them. I just lubed them, and they all shot great. And I did put the 5.56 upper on it. That's that ultimate truck gun. I've got videos on it if y'all want to see it. Put the 5.56 on there and shot, I don't know, I thought shot 60 rounds of 5.56. But I didn't film it because I shot some suppressed, some unsuppressed. And without the suppressor, it's freaking loud as hell. And it thumps. So it would have irritated the shit out of y'all. So I didn't even film it. And plus, I was really focusing on shooting, not really talking to the camera, so I didn't film any of it. But I was there. A lot of people heard me in there, especially with the 308. I shot it suppressed and unsuppressed, but when it was unsuppressed, people knew that I was in there with it. But I was by myself. Nobody else was in there. If somebody would have been in there, I would have only shot it suppressed. What is your grain choice in 300 blackout and 308? My favorite grain in 300 blackout, and I know people are probably going to be like, what? I prefer supersonic. It's great with subs. It's super freaking quiet with subs. However, you get a hell of a lot of drop. I mean, you can have, at 50 yards, you can have like that much drop between a sub and a super. My preferred grain is 110 to 125. That's my preferred grain. 150, I don't really like 150 grain personally. It's kind of the mutt of 300 blackout. It works, but it's not as accurate. It's not as fast and it's not as slow. It's kind of in the middle of the road. But that is the good thing about 300 blackout. You've got such a grain selection. I mean, you can shoot 90 all the way up to 230. I mean, that's how many grain selections you have with that. 308, my favorite is 168 boat tail hollow points. That thing is balls on accurate with that, even for my 18-inch 308 Lancer and my 12 and a half. It really likes the 168. But I've shot 150 out of it with hogs. I've shot, another great ammo, but it's kind of hard to find. It's called TAP, T-A-P, and they actually make 110 grain 308, and it is freaking screaming. So any velocity but it is only 110 grain, but any velocity that you would lose to it being a 12 and a half makes up for it with velocity out of the 110 grain 308. So my preferred is 168, but I've got 168, 150, 147, 151. I've got 7.62 by 51. I've got 308. It'll shoot both. So there you go. Let's see here. Are you using pin sights on bow? No. All it has is just the bow holder. There's no sights on this one, so I'm using arrow point, like the tip of the arrow, throwing it out there and lining it up that way. I'm going to learn string walking so I can work up and down the bow. I've been watching videos like everybody else, and of course Uncle Dan has given me a tons of information. It's trad bow time now with Uncle Dan, but he's been giving me a lot of information over the phone and stuff that I'm going to be trying. So I'm just going to go out and shoot at different distances. Of course, start out closer at first, probably 10 to 15 yards. And then if I feel comfortable, work my way back. With the targets I bought, I am going to build a backstop just so I don't tear up my fence. I've got a little design I'm going to come up, or I've already got it designed in my head. So I'm going to be building that as a backstop to catch the arrows in case I have any that go past the target, up or down or whatever. So kind of playing around with it. But yeah, my favorite calibers, and people have asked this before, my favorite calibers for an AR platform are 300 blackout and 308. 5.56 223 is great, but I prefer 30 caliber rounds, so I'm definitely a 300 blackout 308 guy for my, I guess, preferred. I'll shoot 223 5.56, and it's definitely much cheaper, but I'm definitely a 30 caliber guy. I always have been. I think I've said that a million times. Because, especially if you're traveling, and I do carry mine with me when I travel, you don't know if something's going to pop off and you're going to have to go through car doors, things like that. Hopefully not, but you just don't know. So I would rather have a little more oomph than a 223 5.56 that's going to totally disintegrate if it hits something like that. And I know they make rounds for that, and I do have some of those, but 308, I've never had a problem. I've shot, now, of course, not, well, it was on a dead vehicle, but I've shot through car doors with it, like clean pass through car doors. I've shot engine blocks, and the engines were already dead. They weren't running, but I've shot engine blocks, radiators, cooling fans, evaporator cores, or evaporators. I'm sorry, not cores, evaporator. Sailed right through it like hot butter. So, design a dot for your bow. Hey, hell, I could probably come up with something. They definitely have these little weird mounts. Maybe I could come up with a mount, drill some holes in it, put me a, hollow sun or something on there just to goof around. That might be kind of cool, just to play around with it. Like I said, I'm new to the bow thing, so I am not, never claimed to be the archery guru, because I'm definitely not. Let's see here. Hey, I have found some 97Bs on Gunbroker. 3 went for right around 750, and the last 3 went for over 800. That's kind of been the going rate. I've seen them when they were making a ton of them. I saw them for like 645, 650, but that was a long time ago. So the 750 is not too bad. And I mean, they're definitely worth it. Nelson says, I am Brazil. That's cool, man. I appreciate it. From Brazil. Awesome. Yeah, the 97Bs definitely go quick. I need to shoot mine more, but I don't have it milled, and I'm like a total dot freak now. Not saying I can't shoot irons, because I can. It's just when you are definitely stuck on dots for as long as I have been, for probably 2.5 years now. It's just like when you shoot an iron gun, I still remember how, and I did the other day. I actually shot one the other day, and I was just like, wow, it just seems, and I'm not trying to be negative, but it seems very archaic. And like I said, I'm not trying to be rude. If people love their irons, by all means, do what you want to do. But when you are a dedicated dot guy, and then you go back to irons, and I know how to line them up and do all that, but looking through this and seeing, focusing on your front sight and having the blurry target, it just seems very archaic. And I'm definitely slower with irons now. I'm definitely way faster with dots. I mean, y'all see the videos. I don't shoot slow. Shooting slow, I'm not a ringing, I'm not a bullseye guy. That's not what I'm about. I just go do my own things. Pistol Pete says, I put some lock aggressive palm swell brass grips on a pistol. Pretty awesome. Yeah, I love the super aggressive. And they make on the brass ones, they make them an aggressive and non-aggressive, but I'm definitely an aggressive guy. Hey, what's up, X-Ring? How are you doing? If y'all haven't checked out X-Ring, please do. He's got a great channel. Wealth of knowledge. Big Johnson Guns and Gear. It's like riding a bike. I shot 2 last gun match with Grand Power, iron sights, and still kicked ass. That's cool, man. I'm just saying, once you go dots, it just definitely helps. I mean, for me, I don't have the greatest eyesight that I used to back in the day. So, I mean, I will give credit where credit's due. It's definitely helped my shooting. Yeah, Russ pretty much sums it up. Irons are great if you can see. That's true. I mean, as my eyes have gotten weaker, dots definitely help me. Let's see. Matt Moore says, howdy, Big Johnson. Hey, so I recently picked up a new Colt 8-inch Anaconda. I've never shot a 44 mag before. I'll be honest. It was big and a handful, and I had to have it. Any advice on shooting 44 mag? I mean, I've shot 44 mag before. I've never owned one. I have a 357. That's probably the biggest one I have. I've shot them before, and it's definitely when you're shooting a revolver, don't do a thumbs forward grip, right, Val? Um, I actually took Ball's Chiappa Rhino 357, and I was doing thumbs forward like a dumbass. And he reminded me before I shot it. He said, "Hey, don't do thumbs forward because you'll blow your thumb out." And then I set the gun down. We started talking. I didn't shoot it yet. Then I went back to shoot it, and I threw that thumb straight out there. Sure enough, it blew the whole end of it apart, ripped it wide open. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. So definitely keep your thumbs out of the way. Do a revolver grip. Tuck your thumbs back down like you should on a revolver, so that doesn't happen to you, because it's not fun. My damn thumb was numb for like shit 3 days. Abigail says, my gun has irons. I'm good with irons, but better with the dot. Yeah, and I mean, like I said, use whatever you feel comfortable with. You know, it's whatever y'all, whatever you like. But I still keep going back, and I even told a guy this today. I was talking to him, because he's like, oh, irons have been around forever and blah 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 blah. I'm an irons guy. And I said, okay, that's cool. I said, do you own any ARs? And he was like, oh, yeah, I've got, a few ARs. And I'm like, okay, cool. I said, when you bought your AR, what's the first thing you bought to put on your AR? And he goes, And then he looked at me and he goes, where are you going with this? And I said, no, I'm just asking you a question. What's the first thing you bought to put on your AR? And he's like, a red dot. I said, okay. I mean, why wouldn't you do the same to your pistol? And he's like, no, okay, I see what you're saying. And I mean, I know that we can all shoot ARs with irons too, but a red dot does make it easier. So there you go. Yeah, X-Ring has all the cool toys. I'll tell you, one of my favorites that he has or that he shot is that B&T 300 Blackout. With the long suppressor where it's part of the barrel. And I saw that at Texas Gun Experience. They had it when they first got them in a long time ago, and I took pictures of it, played with it, and I was like, oh man. But shit, it was, what was it, like, I don't know, $6 or $8 grand or something. And I was like, damn, I want it, but I don't want it that bad. Oh. Some of us don't have a choice. Irons on a pistol are a blur to me. I have to run optics. Yeah, I mean, I get it. It definitely, it helps me. And I know, but I will say this also. Everybody says, oh, you should start out on irons. You should start out on irons. I mean, I proved it in a video. My best friend in the world, I've known him since I was 9. I mean, our dads were best friends, and I'm old, so that's how long I've known him. So he's my best friend. But he had never shot a dot on a pistol. His son shoots airsoft, but he had never shot a dot on a pistol. He'd only shot irons on a real pistol. So I took both of them to the range. We were all there. We were shooting his Colt 45, the old OG Colt, because he had inherited it. So I was showing him how to use it and everything, and we were shooting it. And of course, those are tiny ass sights on that gun. And then I said, have y'all ever shot a dot? And they were like, no. And so handed them the dot, or handed them the pistol with the dot. It was the Staccato C2 with the dot. And I said, I need you to target focus. Don't look at the dot, but look through the window at your target and just let the dot get in the way. And I had to watch their groups with even their Glock 45, and because they were shooting that too, and without a dot. And their groups went from like that at 7 yards to like that. I mean, it was, and they were pretty tight with the dot. And that was their very first time ever shooting a dot, ever trying a dot, and both of them did really well with it. So, it's just one of those things. And matter of fact, my daughter, she shot her first time with a dot like not too long ago. She was actually kind of intimidated by a dot. My wife shoots really good with the dot, doesn't shoot real good with the irons because of her vision, and of course my daughter too. So with both of the dots on the pistols, they actually do much better with the dots, and they're not even dot shooters. So that was their very first time trying them also. So try it, And I've had people come after me, knocking me, um, and I've asked them, just simply ask them, have you ever tried a dot? Have you ever tried one? And they're like, well, no. And I'm like, so you're beating me up over it, but you've never tried one? I'm like, don't knock it till you try it. And it might not be for everybody, but once people really put in the time and start shooting with dots and learning dots and things like that, it just it makes it a little easier. That's all I'll say. Or not a little easier. For me, it's a lot easier. You have to train a lot to be good with optics. With irons, you can go to the range 10 times a year and be a great shot. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Anything you want to do good, if you can put in the effort and the time, it's worth trying it. And this was their first time. They had never even shot them, and they proved it to themselves they were better with the dot. Now, where it comes into play, what's up, Michael L? How are you, man? Where it finds or where people will have issues is from the draw, drawing and getting it out there, and not be fishing for the dot. But what I tell people is I'm like, take all your ammo out of your gun, put all your ammo up, put it in the same holster, and then just draw and go to like a light switch on your wall and just practice all of that in dry firing. So then when you go to the range and do live firing, you've pretty much got your draw down and you've got your dot control down. It doesn't have to go bang to control a dot. So, it's just going to go up and down with a proper grip during recoil. So, and you could get some left to right, but you're going to be able to see it in your dot. And the dot will always show you what you're doing wrong. Like if I'm applying a hook finger, which I don't very often, but if I apply a hook finger, it could pull it low left and the dot's going to go low left. Or if I have a weak left hand, it will show from the dot. So the dot doesn't lie. And it's one of the best training aids, honestly, even with dry fire. So, hey, Big J, I had the MPA DS9 hybrid sent to me for review. Can't wait to try it out. Only you and the humble marksman have reviews. Oh, it's a great pistol, man. I really love it. I think you're really going to enjoy it a lot. Yeah, it's a really, really good shooter. So I can't wait to see your review on it, see what you think about it. But I love mine. Can't say enough good things about it. For the price point that it is and everything you get being no mem parts, all billet forged. I mean, everything is made in house except the trigger and the sear. Everything else they make in house. So you really can't beat that gun. I've actually carried mine too. I've carried it in my 5-inch holster, and that's an all steel. Mine's an all steel. Yours is too, but that's an all steel heavy boy. And I do have the carry magwell. I've got the big magwell still for it, but also have the carry edition magwell, and I've put the carry edition on mine. And yeah, I've carried that big old sucker, and I have no issues with it. It's a great gun. Love it. For the price, you can't beat it. Muscle memory. That is true. That is true. Ball and Curious saying X-Ring, once you're done, send that MPA to me. No, it has too many rounds in it. You can only have 10 rounds. And hopefully, Bald, you'll have something cool pretty soon. Hopefully. I still like my pistol irons for slow fire range shooting, but dots are amazing, especially long distance or while moving or engaging multiple targets. Yeah, and I mean, and that is the thing at my range. Now, when I took that class, I was able to move back and forth and go left to right and stuff like that, which was cool. But it is difficult, or I don't want to say difficult. For me, depending on the light, like when I was shooting in the range and I was walking around and stuff, there's like one light here, it's a little darker. I did notice on the target that when I was shooting irons, because I did bring an iron gun that day too, and when I was playing around with an iron gun, I did have problems in some of the light variations, and it's just my eyes. I was having a hard time picking up the front sight because some people forget, most people, their irons are here. Mine are way the hell out there. So it's even farther away from my face. And, I've got that shit where when I read, I got to hold it up close to my eyes. So I got those long ass gorilla arms. So those sights are way the hell out there. And that's where the dot also helps me because of my freaking mongoloid arms. So some people don't have that problem and they have the sights closer to them, but I don't have that anymore. And I'm not going to walk around and shoot like this. I do have some bend in my elbows, but I still have a lot of extension even with a bent elbow. Uh, yeah, 13 rounds in the P10F and 45. Yeah, that's a good amount. I mean, the FNX still has 15, plus you can put plus threes on them, but I haven't seen any plus threes for the P10F yet in 45. So maybe you can get them. Hey, what's up, Double B? How are you, man? But yeah, 13 plus one's not bad. And I still love a 45. I still get so much grief over why the hell do you like 45? You got 10 millimeter and blah, blah, this and blah, blah, that, and I can be a goofball and say two world wars and all that shit. But I've just always loved 45s. Got that soft spot for it. That's what I grew up shooting. Here's a good question. Hello, Ryan. How are you? 3 MOA or 6 MOA for red dot sight? Okay, this is what I'm going to say. If you don't have any astigmatisms, if your eyes are good and all of that stuff, you might prefer a 6 MOA, especially if you're going to use it for self-defense because, it's a bigger dot. Some people prefer that. However, if you have dual stigmatisms, even on a stock 6 MOA or 5 MOA, now I'll be honest with you, the biggest one I've personally shot with, like a lot, was a 5 MOA SRO. But with the stigmatism kicking in, that 5 looked like an 8. Okay. And it, like if I'm shooting B8s or some of those B8 size targets, the freaking whole dot covers up the whole target for me. So I prefer a smaller dot, like a 2.5, 3.5, 3, something like that. A 2 to a 3 is perfect for me because what I can always do, and this is not the correct way to do this, but what I can always do is I can turn up the intensity of the dot and it will bloom like a flower. It will make it bigger. So it'll take that 3 and turn it into a 6 if that's what I want. But on a 6 or a 5 MOA dot, if I turn up the intensity, it'll bloom to a freaking 10. You can't turn a 5 down, but you can always turn a 2 to a 3 up. And you can even do that if you don't have astigmatism. When you bloom or when you really crank up the intensity, the dot does get bigger because it's kind of kicking it out there. And that's not the correct thing to do. Is blooming is not the correct thing to do, but it works for me. So I prefer lower MOAs, but that's a personal preference. What I would recommend for someone like you, if you have younger eyes or something, maybe go into a gun store and just try them. See what you think. Move it around, aim it at a light switch, from 10 yards away or something like that to give you an idea and play with it. You can turn up the intensity, you can turn it down and or if you have friends who have dots, try theirs. Because my eyes are not your eyes, but I can only give you examples of what has helped me. That's the only thing I can say. And that is a valid point. For like your, rifles and stuff, I use the small ones, 2 MOAs, stuff like that for rifles. So the only thing I don't like about red dots on pistols, it exposes my shaky hands and arms. My 3 MOA jumps around on me and it messes with my OCD, but that's a me problem and not dots. Okay, Matt, I will tell you this. A lot of people, and this is just from experience, a lot of people throw their arms straight out. And I'm not a trainer. I don't ever claim to be. I'm just giving you an example of for me. When you throw your arms out and you have them fully extended with no elbow break, it actually creates more wiggle. So if you'll put your arms out and keep your elbows slightly bent and kind of lock your elbows. For one, that absorbs recoil, your elbows do, and not your shoulders, because if you got your arms out, your shoulders go like this. So keep your elbows slightly bent, clamp that thing down like a freaking vise. And also, I'm trying to show this. When you're like this, your recoil is like this. When your elbows are like this, it actually clenches in. It crushes your grip like a vise. So you will actually get less shakiness and less wiggle. So just throw your arms out, bend the elbows, and just crank them out just a little bit. You can crank them out like some guys, but that usually makes you turtle head. So don't do the turtle head. But that's just a tip. And like I said, I'm not a trainer. I don't claim to be, but it does work for me. Yeah, X-Ring, I guess, likes a 6 MOA, but also that guy right there shoots a freaking red dot on a rifle at like 250 yards. I don't know how the hell he's got those great eyes, but it doesn't work for me. And like I said, a lot of this stuff is personal preference. I mean, you got to find what works for you and what you like. Everybody's going to have an opinion. I've said that about everything. That's why there's 31 flavors of ice cream. Everybody likes something different. Rodamo wants to know, anyone have any experience with an HK VP9L optic ready? I have shot the VP9L, but it wasn't optic ready. It was that slide that you can put on there, and it was cool. Hey, Big J, I like the shake awake on red dots. How about you? Y'all all know this. I've got 13 Hollow Suns. They all have the shake awake. I've not had one problem with any of them. I've even laid them down on the counter or on my bench here, and I've stood back there, and the dot went completely off. And I was like, I'm going to try to grab it real quick and see if I can grab it and, look at it. Man, I mean, the second I touched it, I even had my head down because I was trying to grab it sideways. The second I just even tapped the grip, it popped on. I could not mess it up or beat it, so to say. So I've tried that with a bunch of my Hollow Suns. I've got some SIG red dots on rifles that have the shake awake. I've got some Hollow Suns on rifles with the shake awake. I can't, I haven't ever had one fail, so I guess they all work. The only thing I will say is if you're going to the range and you've got a bunch of rifles or pistols with shake awake, the second you're driving down the road and the truck's bouncing around or whatever, they're all firing up. So, that might be an issue with you. If it's not, that's cool. But it is what it is. Hey, Brian, what's up? Yeah, X-Ring's been in here before. X-Ring is a good dude. I wish he lives closer. Yeah, I've actually met Bald in person, X-Ring in person. Great guys, very knowledgeable. Always have a really good time. So, shot with both of them. Hey, what's up, Vito? How are you, man? And like I said, I'm just showing you what might work for me. I'm not like a marksman or a tactical guru or a bullseye shooter. I'm not that guy. This is just what works for me. So I'm just sharing it. I don't ever claim to be a trainer because I'm not. I learn things new every day. So please don't take what I'm telling you verbatim. Just try it, see if it works for you. Let's see here. IBG is saying, Big Johnson Guns and Gear, for defense, do you prefer 45 230 grain hollow points or 4,585 grain plus P hollow points? I've said this before. I'm not a huge plus P guy. I've shot a lot of it. I've shot plus P40, plus P45, plus P9. Honestly, I just prefer regular 230 grain. I don't, plus P is just giving you more explosion in the barrel, so to say. Over a long period of time, it can eventually wear out the inside of a gun. They said it could. I've never had one fail, but I mean, with modern technology now, I don't know if plus P and I don't shoot bear and all that other stuff where it could find out, or I would need to find out about using plus P, but it works well for me. So my round, I've said this numerous times, for a 9mm is HST 124 standard. It's worked great for me. And on my 45s, it's HST 230 grain. Worked great for me. Don't have any issues with it. I've never had to use it in that type of situation. You know where I'm going with this, but I have, and this was before YouTube. I've said this also at my butcher where I get my steaks and meat and stuff. He used to give me all the frozen pig heads, and we would go and we would put them up on a rack and we would shoot them with defensive ammo. And HST always did great for me, and it would take chunks out. But when he was able, because everybody started buying the pig heads, I understand. I guess it's like a delicacy or something for some people. So he wouldn't give me the frozen pig heads anymore. He was selling them and making money off of them. He was just giving to me before because nobody wanted them. So we would shoot those. So it's always worked great for me. So there you go. And the ammo has always been reliable, cycled well. So that's what I've gone with. And I've told stories about the the Hornady red tip polymers before, but that was an example of one, and that was 15 years ago when it first came out, and I had some issues with it. The polymer, if y'all didn't hear, I was running mag after mag after mag through it, and the polymer was melting on the FN feed ramp, and it was actually causing, of course, it was causing basically the rounds couldn't enter the chamber up the feed ramp because it had all that polymer melted on it. Well, I talked to them, told them what the situation was, and supposedly they changed the polymer, but I just don't depend on that. So, and I do have some polymer tip 300 blackout and polymer tip 308 that I use. That's for, self-defense, but that's also a rifle too. So, and you're not shooting mag after mag after mag after mag. Take care, X-Ring. I appreciate you, buddy. Yeah, and I mean, he's exactly right. Rodema is exactly right. If you go with a lighter grain, it's going to be faster, even for a 45. So it's whatever you decide to do. I've shot the 185. I've got some 178, which is kind of rare. Um, and I've got some buffalo bore or whatever and all this, and a Lehigh Defense. I've shot that before, and it's great ammo too. It's just super, super expensive. And some, when it's got that little prong on the front, some guns, it doesn't like to run it super fast. It'll cycle it, but as long as you're not really ramping, if you're not hammered down on that trigger, it'll cycle it as long as you're just doing a normal shooting rate. But if you're really hammering down on it, I've had a couple of them that on some guns that have jammed up on the feed ramp. So, and maybe it won't now. This was a while back. Yeah, that's true. My dad used to say about Texas hot summers, that's the only thing that keeps all the damn Yankees from moving here. That's true. They usually come down here for the winter because it's so freaking cold there. But we've been having some kind of cold winters. So, yeah, Channel Cat, you're exactly right. That 9mm will blow a lung clean out of your body. So you just got to be careful with that. Definitely be aware of that. Exactly. That is what they were. What he told me is they were using the pig cheeks, the pig tongue, and some people eat the pig nose. I didn't know that. So he says he's selling the whole complete heads, and they make some kind of soup with it. I don't know what the hell it is. I wouldn't eat it, but that's why he didn't. He had to stop selling them to me or giving them to me. Yeah, Phoenix Redbacks are nice, man. I've never shot one. I know MD Polo has like three of them, and man, they look beautiful. And I've shot tons of Sphinx pistols, and they were no joke. And pretty much Redback is making them and making them even better. I mean, you're okay. If you accidentally bought plus B plus, it's not a big deal. I mean, I've shot it before too. You're just going to get a little more pop and a little bit more recoil, but it's definitely controllable. A lot of people think it's just going to blow your arms back. It doesn't do that. It's not that big of a deal. I mean, you can definitely feel it when you're shooting plus P or plus P plus, but it's definitely controllable. Hello, Clyde. Do you have one lower and just switch between 5.56 and 300 blackout, or do you have a lower for each? On the truck, and I've got a video on it, it's called the Ultimate Truck Gun. For this specific build that I had done, it's one lower and it's two 12.5-inch uppers with the same prism optic on it, the same cloud defensive light, the same Q whistle tip, of course with the cherry bombs, and different paint color schemes. One's 300 blackout, one is 5.56. I have 2 bolts in each one, 2 charging handles in each one, so it's loaded, ready to go. I've got quick releases where I can pop them off, switch to 300 blackout or 5.56 in seconds. So that's my Ultimate Truck Gun package, and I do carry that. So, and of course in there, I've got mags, 300 blackout mags and 5.56 mags. All of my 300 blackout mags. The Ranger bands that I've talked about before, where I take the bicycle inner tube and cut them. If I had to grab one in the dark, all the Ranger bands, and of course when I'm set up in the hotel, I've got a specific upper, which is 300 blackout. So in the mags, on the outside of the mags, every one of the 300 blackout mags have a Ranger band on them, so I can feel them in the dark, and I know exactly which one it is by feeling the Ranger band at the bottom of the mag. So I know it's a 300 blackout or a 5.56 if I had to grab any. So there you go. Sharing is caring. So yes, you can take a regular 5.56 lower and you can put a 300 blackout upper on it. Just don't mix your ammo, and then you're good to go. 45 gap. Woo! That was a waste. That's what the 30 super carry is going to be, is the 45 gap. Just get ready. Don't hate me if you own a 30 super carry, but I'm just telling you, it ain't going to stay around. All right. Well, I don't want to interfere. I've gone 6 minutes over. I don't want to mess with Chris's chat, but I appreciate y'all so much. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. I will definitely answer them. And as soon as I get that little baby in, I will try to get something up just showing you what it is. And then we will start tricking it out and going from there. But I think y'all will be excited about it. I know I'm excited about it. And I think y'all are going to like it. I think you're going to like it. Oh, man, get off here. This crap. These adult things are driving me crazy, man. Yep, he's gone. All right. Well, I appreciate y'all so much. I'm going to just make sure I didn't miss anything real quick. But, yep, I appreciate y'all so much. Y'all take care. Remember, an unarmed nation's a very weak nation, so we all got to carry on. Carry these. Take care, everyone. Have a great night.